Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Faithful Brew, where we brew up conversations worth sipping on. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode, guys. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed and ready to begin and get started. For those who are new, my name is Abby. Nice to meet you guys. I hope you stay a while. If not, that's okay. So, recently I started a new series. Well, it was only my last episode. I started a new series on friendship. I feel like friendship is so important, and I just felt like I wanted to talk about it and talk about kind of what are the good qualities what are the qualities that make a good friend. What are they? And I use the Bible as my guide, like I always do, because it has all the good stuff, guys. You need to read it. If you haven't, you should. But yeah, so I talked about the different qualities that I found within the Bible that kind of in regards to friendship. And let me just to touch base on that real quick. I'm just going to go through that list again so you guys know. So last episode I talked about supportive and loyal friends. Proverbs 17 verse 17, and then that's what I went into. And then other qualities within this list is honesty, trustworthiness, encouraging, edifying, faithful, constant, loving, and advising. And I love all those qualities. I feel like that is qualities that I want out of my friendships, and I feel like I found that. And that's also something I hope that I possess so that I could be a good friend to my friends as well. And so it's not only what we're looking for in friendships, but also qualities that we want to possess so that we could be better friends to our friends too, you know. But guys, I'm ready. So today we're going to talk about the next qualities on this list. I wanted to talk about honest and trustworthy friends, and then I also wanted to talk about encouragement. I feel like that's a good, these are all good: trustworthiness, honesty, and encouragement. All good things when it comes to friendship. So I want to start first by, you know how I do it. I like to give the definition first. That's how I like to start. So we're all on the same page. We get it. We know, because sometimes to really understand a word, you got to start from the basics, from the definition, and really dive into it. So, honest. What does it mean to be honest? We both know. We should know what we know what honest is. What we know what it means to be honest. I don't know why my mouth always does that. Like I lose my like sometimes my mind just goes quicker than my mouth, and like I stumble a lot. So sorry about that, guys. But to be honest means telling the truth or able to be trusted and not likely to steal, cheat, or lie. Who's looking for that? I am. I'm looking for that in my friends, and I hope I possess that too. But yeah, I feel like who doesn't want friends who are going to tell you the truth, who are not going to cheat you, and who are not going to lie to you? I think that that's something we all truly value. We want people who are going to keep it real with us, who are going to keep it 100 with us, who are going to be honest with us and not lie to us, and just like be real. Because in this life, in this world right now, there's a lot of deception and deceitfulness going on, and like that's not cute. We don't like that. I don't like that. And I feel like something that is to be cherished is honesty, truly honesty and trustworthiness, because I feel like through honesty, that's where trust is built. Because if you're honest with me, then I could trust in you, because I know that through your actions that you're a woman or a man of your word. So I could put my trust in you, and I know I could come to you with things because you're going to be honest with me, and I've seen you do it, so that now I could trust in your actions and not just your words. So be aware about that, guys, to be people who not only just believe people for their words, but believe them for their actions as well. I think that's really something that we should be aware of and kind of be observant of too in this generation and in life in general, through and just when you're meeting people, and decide, because you don't want just anybody in your life, I would say, because God doesn't, that's not how God operates. I feel like there are people who are meant to be in your life, and you could clearly see when someone's not meant to be in your life, and you pray for it. God, is this person supposed to be in my life? He will take that person out of your life if they're not meant to be in your life. So that means, and that should tell you, not every person is supposed to be in your life, because not every person is going to add onto your life. You want people who's going to add onto your life and pour into you all that positivity and encouragement and love and care that you're looking for. So, yeah, so the first verse I wanted to read was Proverbs 27, verse 6. No, not Proverbs 27, verse 6. I'm going to read that after, but I wanted to read Proverbs 18, verse 24 first before I do that one. One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. That's a good verse. So when I was reading, you know what's what I love about the Bible is there's always more to what you read, and there's always deeper meanings, underlying messages, and the more you dive deeper, the more you're going to learn, and the more the Holy Spirit may unveil things to you. Because sometimes when I'm reading, I think, oh, this is so good, I got it, like I know what's being said, and then I go deeper, and or I'll read a commentary, or read like, and I'll just study it more, and I'll do more research and be like, wait, there's more to this. And so as I was reading this and I was like kind of going deeper into it, someone had kind of what they focused on, someone else focused on. I didn't focus on this. I didn't even look at this, but the plurality of friends. They focused on that the friends was plural instead of just friend. And so that was interesting. So, of course, someone who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin. So unreliable friends is people you can't put your trust in, you can't rely on, you can't lean on, because they probably won't be there for when you need them. And so having unreliable friends could lead to ruin, as in basically, like, I feel like what I'm taking from this is unreliable friends is not always going to end up it's not always going to end up in a good result. It's not always going to lead to something positive. Unreliability does not always equate, almost never, it never equates anything positive. Because when you need that person, when you need someone to step up, or you need someone to help you out or come through for you, and they don't, you end up on the shorter end of the stick. You end up getting hurt. You end up, that kind of affects you in not a positive way, but more so a negative way. So yeah, but yeah, the plurality of friends. And so what they focused on was like how it's plural. And so I was thinking about that too. So it doesn't even matter. You could have a whole bunch of friends and they could still not be good friends to you. You could have all the friends of the world, like a whole bunch of friends, and they still might not even be a true friend. You can't even find one true friend out of that midst of all your friends. And so I feel like what I wrote down was that's why quality doesn't equate quantity. They don't equal. Because I would rather have quality friends than a lot of friends. Point blank, period. I'd rather have quality friends than a lot of friends. Because just because you have a lot of friends doesn't mean they're true friends to you. So maybe having one or two true friends is more than having like 20, 50, like 20 or 30 friends, right? So yeah. And I also wrote that what I wrote down for this also was friends who exist. It's not my words. I think I took it. I took this from somewhere when I was researching and stuff. So friends who exist because you have something. There are friends who exist because you have something to offer, and there are friends who exist in your lives because they love you and they want to stand by you and they want to be there for you. So we have to be aware and cognizant of like, we got to see who's in our corner. Who do we have around, and why are they there? Are they taking up space, or are they there because they love us and they want to be there and they want to support us? They want to stay by our sides. They want to stand by us and they want to encourage us and love us. Or is it because there's something they want out of us? Because there are people who want to take. And the reason that they're in our lives is just to take and never pour out anything in return. And so I feel like we just have to be really aware of that and cognizant of that, of who we're allowing into our spaces, who are we allowing into our lives. Because some people are just taking up space. Sorry, honestly, there are people who are taking space in our lives who are not meant to be there. They're not meant to be in our lives. And so pray about that. Pray about God. Who is meant to be in my life? And reveal that to me, because you should want to know that, and I would want to know that, because you don't know the ulterior motive behind why they're there. They could be there because they want something from you, and that's not who you want in your corner. I don't want someone like that in my corner. And then the second part is, but there is friends who stick closer than a brother. So my take from that is, well, it's pretty simple what it's saying here. There are people you're friends with who are closer to you than your family has ever been. Because I know that your family. So there are people who have family that they're not close to, who they're not close to their parents, they're not close to their siblings, unfortunately, because certain circumstances or situations warrants that disconnect, or that that separation, or that where you no longer want to be in each other's lives. And the reality of it is sometimes you have family, but they don't treat you like family, like a family member, like they should treat you. They don't treat you with love. They don't treat you with support. They don't treat you with kindness. And so maybe that family member, just because they're your blood, they're still not meant to be in your life. Just because they're your family does not mean you have to have them in your life. I feel like certain boundaries are important. If you're in a toxic situation and it's unhealthy, and you just know this person is not supposed to be in your life, pray about it, and you know God is going to show up and reveal some things to you and let you know. So yeah, there are friends who are going to stick by you better than family could or ever would, or that's just how it is in this day and age, that they're friends who become your family. And I think that's a beautiful thing to find that in a friendship. And when you do, cherish that. Truly cherish that, because if there are friends who will literally step into that role of brother and sister and they're not even your blood, that is someone you really need to cherish in your life and who truly love you. So yeah, I think that's beautiful, because I was thinking about that. I was like, whoa, even Jesus, he had brothers, right? He had siblings, but they didn't even believe in him. Honestly, they didn't. I don't, I wasn't there back then, but from reading the Bible and reading and understanding what is being said in this book, in this Bible, what I could take from this is that he was not that close with his brothers. If anything, he was closest to his disciples. They were his family. They were his brothers. They were the people he spent most of his time with, and all his time with, and all his time with. And they were the people who they put their trust in him. They trusted in him when his real brothers didn't trust in him. His real brothers didn't trust. They didn't even believe that. They didn't believe in him, that he was the Messiah, but his disciples did. And they did end up believing in him after he died and resurrected, of course. But yeah, I think that sometimes there's friends in your lives who become your brothers, and cherish that. It's beautiful. And so, to kind of go more into honesty and trustworthiness, there is a verse that I wanted to speak on. Proverbs 18. Is it Proverbs 18? No, it's not. It's Proverbs 27, verse 6. Proverbs 27, verse 6. It says, wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. Doesn't it sound like poetry? I love Proverbs and Psalms because it's always sounds so poetic to me. Like whenever I read it, because I love poetry. So I love reading Proverbs and Psalms. And I just love their wordplay. I love the symbolism and all that. Their writers they knew how to. I don't know. I just love it. I love it. I love the way they write in Proverbs and Psalms. But, so yeah, wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. So, what are wounds? Wounds, it happens. It could happen. You could have internal wounds from people's words, and you could have physical wounds from injuries, right? But I think this is more so focusing on those internal, maybe those wounds that come from the words people have spoken to you. And in this case, that I think these kind of wounds are good, because these wounds come from a place of love. When your friends are honest with you, it's supposed to come from a place of love. They're telling you the truth because they love you. And you want people around you who are going to be honest with you. And I feel like if you love someone, you're going to be honest with them and you're going to tell them the truth. So even though it may hurt, when they're telling you it, you're like, oh, like you felt that. You felt it. You felt you felt their words, right? You felt it. But I believe that because they're being honest with you because they love you, and it's coming from a place where they are looking out for your best interest. They don't want to see you get hurt. They want to see you. They don't want to see you fall into things you're not. They don't want to see you go and get yourself into situations that could have been avoided. So I would much rather be real and honest with my friends to prevent them from going down a path they could have avoided, to going through something they didn't need to go through, or getting hurt in the end. And if I would have spoken up, I could have maybe helped them and guided them or gave them some advice. Because some people take it, some people don't. It's really up to the person whether they take it or not. But at least you gave them the truth. At least you spoke the truth. And so they know, and then that's how it builds that reliability and that trust, because they know that you are always going to be honest with them, and you're going to be real with them. And so I feel like wounds from a friend is something, yeah, it may sting a little bit, but you'll appreciate it in the end. And then it says that, but an enemy multiplies kisses. I don't want kisses from an enemy, first of all. And this is not something good. You don't want kisses from an enemy. You should want wounds from your friends than kisses from an enemy, okay? Trust me, you would much rather have that. Because what I'm getting from this is that, listen, things could appear cute and sweet and good, but the underlying motive could be something that comes from a place of bitterness, hatred, envy, jealousy. You don't know what's going on in their heart and in their mind, why they're doing certain things, why it appears that they're being all nice and all that. You don't know. It could be for an ulterior motive that is hidden, because they could be deceiving you. A lot of us are deceived by people because they appear to be something that they're not. And so when they appear to be something that they're not, we fall into that trap and then we get deceived. So I think we just have to be aware of when there are people who are, they're just doing some things. You just got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to just be aware and observant to know, like, it's a little sketchy. Like, maybe you don't want to, trust me, we do not want to be deceived by people that it could have been avoided if we would just open our eyes. Sometimes we are not cognizant of things, and we're not really, we're not really here with it. We're not being as, I can't even find the word, but you know what I'm trying to say, basically. You know what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, so we just got to be careful, because we could easily get hurt by people like that. And so to end, I just wanted to end with the last one quality is encouragement. I feel like encouragement is so important when it comes to friendships. I'm telling you, people who pour into you, who support you, who are rooting for you, when you are doubting yourself, they come and pour encouragement into you. That's beautiful. And that's what God calls us to do. He calls us to not only love people, but to encourage them, because from that, you're going to see there's a positive influence that does on the person. You could see the impact it has on that person. Because in my experience, when I was going through things, or when I was doubting certain things about myself, or doubting something, and I was talking to my friends about it, then they encouraged me. I'd see how that helped me. That uplifted me. They uplifted me. And I saw how even my own words was used to uplift someone else, how I uplifted someone else with my words of encouragement. And I saw the impact and influence that had on them. And so I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think it's an amazing thing. And I think it's something that we should continue to do for our friends and for people in our lives, to continue to pour encouragement on them and to be positive and uplift them, because we should much rather want to uplift people than to tear them down. So make that choice to uplift people rather than tear them down. But guys, thank you so much for listening. I pray that God continues to put people in your lives that are meant to be there, who are going to love you, appreciate you, value you, be loyal to you, encourage you, support you, stand by you through thick and thin. I know He could do that for you. And continue to pray for friendships like that if you don't already have that. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for being here. And until next time, guys, I love you, but Jesus loves you more. Bye.